What do you think of when you think of Latin America? When I think of Latin America, I think of tacos, sombreros, and of course, brutal dictators that commit mass genocide and ruin their own country. El año es 1991 en México, y la gente está muy enojada con... Oh, sorry, wrong language. Let's roll that back a bit. The year is 1991 in Mexico, and people are very, very mad at the government. You see, at the time, the economy wasn't doing so well, and a particularly unpopular party was in power, the Institutional Revolutionary Party, or the PRI. Basically, during this time, everyone hated the PRI. Luckily, this was all about to change. In 1988, a free election was held in Mexico, and finally, for the first time in a long time... Well, maybe the next election will be... One second, let me just... And there we go, just like that, in the year 2000, someone else was elected president. Vicente Fox was the new president's name. Luckily, unlike the PRI, everyone liked him. He said that he would help Mexico's failing economy, so that's what he did, as shown by the super-duper professional graph made by a super-duper professional staff. And everyone became generally happy. Well, that is until... Brazil! Much like Mexico, in 1991, Brazil also found itself having a lot of economic growth. Well, the thing growing in the economy was inflation, and everything was actually really bad. But that's okay, because in the early 1990s, this man, Itamar Franco, was elected, and he said,
I'm going to help the economy.
Well, I don't know if he really said that, but I imagine it's something he would say. And Itamar Franco did help the economy. He devised a plan during his presidential period that sought to decrease the inflation in Brazil, and luckily, the plan worked, and everyone loved him. Well, until in 1994, when he, a 63-year-old divorcee, kissed the 27-year-old Playboy cover girl Lilian Ramos during the Rio de Janeiro Carnival. This caused public backlash, but it didn't really matter, as in the same year, Henrique Cardoso was elected president and Franco left office. Cardoso was able to deal with Brazil's many economic and even political problems. He supported a free market economy despite being trained as a Marxist or communist. Then came the election of 2002. Cardoso had someone in mind who wanted to succeed him, Jose Serra. Serra supported a free market economy like his predecessor. His opponent, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, was a leftist, or someone who believed that everyone should be equal. However, Brazilians were unhappy with another free market supporter as president, as they believed that it would raise prices in the country. As a result, Silva won and served for 2 terms. In the year 2010, Serra, the one who had lost in the election of 2002, once again ran for president.
This time I will win,
he said to himself, as he suffered another brutal defeat to his opponent, this time a leftist named Dilma Rousseff. Unfortunately, Rousseff wouldn't be the president that everyone had hoped for, as in 2016, she was impeached for money laundering and corruption in an oil company. She was replaced by her vice president, Michael Temer, who served her term until 2018. Moving on to Argentina, located on the south side of South America. During the 1990s, Argentina was trying to recover from the military dictatorship that it had endured in the past. It was doing this gradually with the help from the IMF, or the International Monetary Fund, an organization of various countries around the world with the purpose of ensuring the stability of the international monetary system. Throughout the 1990s, presidents of Argentina worked to help stabilize the country's economy. Unfortunately, when the IMF refused to give any further funds to Argentina in 2001, the economic crisis got much worse. The president at the time, Fernando de la Rua, resigned due to economic protests. He was replaced by Eduardo Dualde, who tried his best to fix the economic problems. However, by 2002, Argentina had an unemployment rate as high as 24% and was $132 billion in debt. It also struggled to regain its political footing in the world. Although many presidents tried their best in fixing the wounds Argentina sustained from its military dictatorship, they were only able to fix so much, and Argentina is still in a state of turmoil. So far, all the countries we have talked about in Latin America have had largely military dictatorships turn into fair democracies over time. However, Venezuela had a different idea. It decided to go from a wealthy democracy where everyone is mostly happy to a socialist dictatorship run by one man, Hugo Chavez. In 1992, Hugo Chavez tried to perform a military coup on the democratic government. However, it failed, and he was thrown in jail. Ironically, the government at the time had thought that Chavez posed no threat to the government, and he was released. However, the coup had raised some feelings in the people, and as a result, Chavez won presidency in 1998. Chavez drove the country towards dictatorship. He even had a new constitution put in place in 2000. Fortunately, during his rule, he focused on providing food, education, and other necessities to the poor in Venezuela, and as a result, his popularity soared amongst them. However, Chavez died in 2013, and his successor, Nicolas Maduro, didn't do so well. Clinging onto power, Maduro now rules a country on the brink of collapse. From 2015 to 2016, the population of Venezuela lost an average of 19 pounds due to food shortages. Venezuela unfortunately doesn't seem to have a very bright future. And that's about it for Latin America. We know that Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, and Venezuela aren't the only countries in Latin America, but unfortunately, we only have so much time. We hope that you'll tune in next time for Crash Course.